Get mad at Harlem. Deuce to get mad at Harlem. Deuce to get mad at Harlem.
But shit, other than that, like, I mean, what's been going on with you lately? Like, what you got in the works right now?
I mean, I've been putting out music for the past few years, man. Like steadily, you know. Me and Showbiz put out Same Moon, Same Sun, New Dawn. You know, we put out the DITC project, the studio album. You know, just been real busy. You know what I'm saying? And you know, we built the studio a few years ago. Well, more than a few years ago, but you know, we was in the studio with Preem before they shut headquarters down, so we had a full studio in Premier Studio at that time. But you know, they shut the building down, so we had to relocate. Preem had to relocate, and we just never stopped doing what we was doing, man.
That's right. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. So how does it feel, man? Just being, you know, one of the greats, man, that's still doing it from, you know, like you said, from way back when in the Wild Out days. Now, where you know things are a little bit, you know, I don't want to say slowed down, but I say that you know you kind of like, you know, you picked up the pace, like you say, you're still working. So I mean, through all this madness that's going on in the industry and with our culture and stuff like that, what's your thoughts about, you know, how everything is going on and where you get in and where you fit in at as far as, you know, what's going on right now as opposed to what was happening yesterday?
Well, I mean, good or bad, it's not my place to. Well, personally, for me, it's not my place to wag my finger at the younger generation, even though, you know, it's certain things that I don't agree with because I was their age, you know what I'm saying? Right. And it was just certain shit I wouldn't listen to, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes what they say, a hard head leave a soft ass, sometimes you got to just find out on your own. And the only thing that I have not even just a problem with, just me being a writer is, you know, it's not too many writers anymore. You know what I'm saying? It's a select few. It's a pocket. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, people can't distinguish the difference between what's dope and what's actually bullshit.
Right.
Okay.
Like, yo, you know, if you strip people's music and listen to them bare bone with no, you know, acapella, you're going to be like, what the fuck is going on? What are they saying? Like, what are they talking about? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
exactly. That's right.
Take that beat away.
Talk about it, King.
Take
Go
that
ahead.
beat away.
Right.
And, you know, that's just everything in a nutshell. Like, for people to say lyricists or writers don't matter anymore, it's like, damn, man, like, I remember KRS saying, isn't even 20 years old, you know what I'm saying? And 50 years down the line, you know, we'll be the old school artist, but it still ain't even 50 years.
Nope. It's not sure not
even.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I'm always humble with the legends and, you know, the legend talk, you know, the OG talk, but I still have OGs out here. KRS and them is my OGs. Cash and them is my OGs. Melly Mel is my OG. Like, everybody Flash, whoever's still living is my OGs. So I can't take those. I don't accept those reigns personally, and I don't want to see them, you know, pass away. We all got to die one day, but until that day, they're the OGs of this shit. Like, they the originators. Like, you know, I'm a blueprint of them.
And definitely what you said, definitely, I definitely can get with, and I hope the cats that's listening. Shout out to everybody that's listening to the show, man. We appreciate y'all. You know, like you just said, man, I feel the same way because, you know, I come from that era. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like the Fever and all, you know, way back. So when I'm with Kaz or when I'm with, you know, cats like that, those are my OGs, and I treat them with reverence. You know what I'm
exactly.
saying? So again, but it seemed like to me it just seemed like kind of, you know, the generation now today, didn't really pick up that baton as far as treating it with reverence. It's like, oh, y'all niggas had y'all day, and y'all day is over and gone, and fuck y'all. You know what I mean?
Well,
like,
it's only hip hop, man. It's only hip hop music. It's in any other genre of music doesn't happen that way. Like, you know, Grateful Dead can probably put on a concert next week, and that shit will sell out in probably minutes.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Mick Jagger was in the joint rehearsal. The Rolling Stones is getting ready to go on
Rolling
tour.
Stones, that's what I'm saying. Sting still goes on tour.
Some niggas could be in wheelchairs.
Literally, like some of these dudes are 70, almost pushing 80. Billy Joel, you know what I'm saying? Bruce Springsteen, they still sell out arenas. You know what I'm saying? But the only genre of music that after 5 years you can be considered old is hip hop.
Why do you think it's like that? Why do you think it's like that?
I think it's something. I think it's because it's still something new, and people don't realize that. And the generation now probably doesn't. If they don't do their homework, they don't realize it. So you know, they just want us out the way for whatever reason, which is just crazy to me. But it's just like you know that doesn't happen with rock. You know that doesn't happen with country music. That doesn't happen, and I believe it happens because the music is still young. I think the business aspect got into it. They didn't dig our shit from the gate, but when they seen a dollar sign behind it, that's when it
changed. That's when the tide changed. You're right. Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And real quick, one thing I always tell people, I tell people, most young people, you know what I'm saying, depending on how you talk to them, won't listen to you. But if you put a suitcase full of money in front of people, young or old, you got everybody's attention. And it's fucked up, but that's just how it is.
Oh, that's right.
I was just about to touch on that. I'm thinking, like, nowadays, niggas value the money more than anything nowadays. It's all about the bag. And then they got the mindset to where it ain't enough money for everybody. They act like they got to be the only ones to get money and get the bag and have the cars and the jewelry and shit. And they losing focus to, like, the art, the material, like really putting their penmanship down, saying, yo, my shit is creative. Yo, you see how I just made this whole storyline, writing these words down? Niggas don't think like that no more. They just want a catchy tune. They want you to dance to that shit and hum that shit all day on the radio, and they get a bag. That's it.
Right. Well, I mean, it goes a little deeper than that too, man. Like, people of color are still trapped in cycles. So, if you think about it, people, and I got white friends, you have white friends, we all have white friends or people, white associates, whatever. Their family teaches them from generation before, it's passed down. No matter what they do, no matter what kind of trouble they get into, they make sure they covered. They send them to school, they pay for school, they keep that land or that house, pass it down to them. No matter what they doing or what kind of trouble they're getting into, they make sure at the end of the day all that shit is fixable. And they keep it moving. That's how they keep that shit in the family. That's how they keep it going for generations. And I'm just breaking it down in layman's terms, simple terms. But for us, man, it just goes a little deeper, man. Like, I heard somebody say the crabs in the barrel effect is some bullshit. It is to a degree, but it's just what I said. If you open up $1 million open a suitcase with $1 million, you're gonna get people's attention in that room. With them knowing that they might get that $1 million at the end of that talk.
Right. And again, I mean, you know, you would have, like, and we're keeping it on the analogy of the $1 million briefcase. You're gonna have people that's gonna look at that shit and be like, I'm taking all of that shit.
Exactly.
You're gonna have people that's looking at that shit say, how can I get that? Then you're gonna have people that's playing both ends against the middle. You know what I mean? They want to get it. You know what I mean? But they want to scheme to get it. So like you said, fam, the crab in the barrel mentality might not be literally in full effect, but figuratively, that shit is in full effect. You know what I mean? Yeah,
But you know what?
I mean,
you know what? The crab is mad slander, brother. The crabs in a barrel mentality. I'm 34 years old, right?
mm-hmm.
Right. And when you came out with Word Life, I was 10
mm-hmm.
years old. That shit was 93.
Right.
I was 10 years old, right? Now, we talk about the crabs in a barrel.
Mm-hmm.
Who's to say that crabs were supposed to be in the fucking barrel in the first place?
Yo,
niggas wasn't supposed to be up in there.
Yeah, that shit don't make.
What you think is gonna happen? You understand
Right.
what I'm saying?
I mean, it's just like it's just like a slave cage. Eventually, I mean, it's like jail cells and cages and all that shit. Yo, you pack people in. Eventually, it's gonna be chaos.
It ain't supposed to be that way. You're not supposed. You put in people. You doing certain things where it's not supposed to be that way. So what you think is gonna happen? Chaos. Chaos is gonna happen, and people are gonna turn against each other.
Exactly.
And it's sadly that it's us. When I say us, I'm Spanish, Puerto Rican.
Right.
But we was all going through the same shit. You get what I'm saying? So it's just like, I look at it like, yo, how about we work together, and instead of just hating on each other, we had this conversation last night on the show.
Right, but it's like I said, man,
what are we doing?
It's a cycle that has to be broken. I don't have all the answers. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just something that's gonna keep continuing until we figure out how to break that cycle with each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, beating up our women, or as opposed to somebody beating on our women. Like, yo, it's a difference, man. Like, it's just killing each other as opposed to killing the other person. Like, it's just too many cycles that need to be broken. And who said we was gonna see a president in our day and time that was black? Right. But it happened. Right. And now we got to move on and figure out, the next step to breaking these cycles, man. Because I got fucked up ways. We all got fucked up ways. You know what I'm saying? Yep. Instilled in us, and you try to figure them out and try to, kick them shits to the curb. But, that's just life, man.
Word.
Yeah.
And everybody from the 5 boroughs, we all went through the same shit. Whether you from Harlem, you from the Bronx, you from Brooklyn, Staten Island, we from New York City. We all went through the same type of shit.
Exactly.
And we all took some of the similar routes to survive through what we was going through at that point in time. So I feel you on that. And I mean, it's one thing to say we got to make change, but the people got to want to change within as well. Now, I mean, a lot of niggas just be talking about it, but they don't be wanting to get up and do something about it for real.
Because it's all good. Like the conversation we having right now is a perfect example. You know what I mean? Again, we could talk about it all day, but it begins with you. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It begins with you.
Exactly.
So, if you could set the example and be the trendsetter and the trailblazer, you might get some flack or some static for people on the other side who really don't want you to do that. There go the crabs right there. But if you got that mental, like, yo, I'm going to do this, and you're really sincere about what the fuck you doing, you'll get people on your side. But it's just about having that dedication to it and seeing through all the monkey shit to come out on the other end. You know what I mean? With a better situation. Word.
And you have to really be ready to die for it. You have to really be ready to die for it. Like, appreciate it. Thank you, man. But you have to really be ready to die for what you believe in. And like I said, man, people talk shit. I say I just as human beings in general, we all talk shit, or we say things, or we push it on social media, or we have conversations with each other until that shit, that real challenge is presented in front of us. Half these people don't want to die. You know what I'm saying? Like, or half these people don't want to go through the system, or whatever the case may be.
Or any challenge, right. Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? The real challenge is when it really comes to you. You know what I'm saying? And how you handle it. Mm-hmm. And some people, like I said, a lot of us need to just try to figure this shit out, man. And dudes like Nipsey ain't new. You know what I'm saying? Like he was just he was a public figure. But it's a lot of Nipseys out here.
Right. Yeah. Definitely.
Word.
Definitely.
Word.
Yeah. Definitely, man.
But there's a lot of Nipseys. Hold on,
on that note right there, I want to give a minute. I want to give a minute, and I want to do a rest in peace to my man. Now I mean, he been gone for some time, and this is my man. So now I mean, rest in peace to my nigga P80 Party Artie. You heard? For real.
Peace.
That was my nigga.
That's family.
Party Artie.
Nah, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm from Harlem. I'm from Grant Projects. I used to go over there to Mount Haven Projects to my brother June in the crib. And I used to personally go to Party Artie crib, and he make beats on the PlayStation. He introduced me to AG. He introduced me to Showbiz. So I just want to give a rest in peace and a shout out salute to my nigga Party Artie one more time. That was my dude. And I know OC, you know Party Artie, so that's definitely the perfect time for me to mention that. Now I mean, Nah, I mean, I just wanted to do that right quick. One more time for my nigga Party Artie.
80 is family, you know what I mean? And, you know, 80 was about to be a star as well. You know, a lot of people, you know, he just got sick. You know, people didn't realize that, like, you know, he was in talks with around a little bit before he really got real bad off, like with 50, you know what I'm saying? Like, G Unit was courting him. You know, he had a lot of things in the mix, and that was a crazy loss for us.
Right.
That was a crazy loss for us. Yeah.
I felt some type of way when I got the news. Now I mean, because I was back and forth from Mount Haven to Harlem, and I had a crib out there in Pennsylvania and PA and shit. And every time I used to touch down on the weekends, that nigga P80 would hit me up and be like, "Yo, what's good? Yo, come holler at me. I got some new shit. Yo, spit something to this. I want to hear something." So. Yo, that was my dude. Like, word. That shit fucked with me.
No doubt.
When he was gone, that shit really fucked with me.
No doubt.
But like you were saying, I mean, you know, every situation should be, you know, no matter how, you know, minor we might think it is at the time. You know what I mean? Because again, like, you know, you never know, man. When, you know, you'll be the last time talking to people. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, you have to treat them with, you know, with respect. You might not, you know, like them, or you might be going through something, or whatever the case may be. But that shit is minor compared to the bigger picture, man. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So
we all men first. We all human beings first and foremost.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Because again, man, you know, you just want to be able to have that. You know, have that situation, you know, having to deal with real life, somebody passes away, but knowing that, you know, you and that particular person, whatever, you know, relationship that y'all had was, you know, on an even keel. You didn't pass away with, yo, damn, I wish I would have, you know, we would have got together and apologized, or we would have hung out one more time, and you got a lot of regrets. So again, man, you know, you got to treat every moment, you know, as it comes, but you got to, you know, realize that this moment, you know, it don't last forever, man. So I hate to sound cliche-ish and shit, but, you know, it just is what it is.
No doubt.
Word, that's how it goes down. But, OC, for people that don't know, Ditc in the Crate, can you please let them know who the original members of the crew are, and let them know how y'all formed? Like, put the world on, because there's a lot of new young listeners, and they need this knowledge. Drop that gem on them for them one time.
Please.
DITC consists of Showbiz, AG, Law Finesse, Diamond D, Big L, Buck Wow, Fat Joe, and myself.
Okay.
And you know, we got side members too. My man OG, you know what I'm saying? The most popular of the crew would probably be Fat Joe. For the cats out there that, you know, the younger cats that may or may not know who we are, but Joe is an original DITC member. He's still a DITC member. Finesse is really the super glue to this whole shit, to the he's the nucleus to everything. I met Finesse in 1991, going on the very first Source tour with Organized Confusion. That's where I got started laying my foundation down with them cats, Pharaoh and Prince Poe.
Shout out,
you know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Pharaoh, no doubt.
No doubt. And fast forward, like I said, I met Law Finesse on that tour. I met MC Search on that tour. I met Roxanne Shante, Ray Benzino, Biz Markie, MC Search, excuse me, who actually signed me maybe 2 years later after, when he found out I wasn't a third member of Organized Confusion. So that's where my history starts at as far as a solo artist. So MC Search had a production company called Searchlight Music. His first artist was a person y'all know as Nas. He was Nasty Nas at the time.
Okay.
And me and Nas was the first two guys signed to Searchlight Music. You know what I'm saying? And that's where everything takes place and my journey started. But DITC is something that Lord Finesse really brought together. He brought Show and AG together. Him, Showbiz, and Diamond D grew up together, and Fat Joe as well. He ran into
right? BX.
They all BX, yup.
BX.
All those cats from the BX, from Forest Projects.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? Big L's from Harlem, of course.
Yes. Respect.
Yeah. God bless. God bless.
I was just about to touch on that. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I was just about to touch on
Finesse
that.
met Big L in Rockin' Wells. Well, Big L approached him. You know what I'm saying? Big L was bold like that. He was a young high school kid. Told Ness that if he didn't like what he heard, he'll leave him alone. At the end of that conversation and that freestyle, Finesse ended up taking his number. You know what I'm saying? And then that very week, that following week, he was on a remix called Yes You May Remix. That's where, you know what I'm saying? That's how serious it was. And I was probably the last member to come in. You know what I'm saying? So me and Buck Wild was kind of like P-Rock, CL Smooth type. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But we wasn't an official group in DITC, but me and him are the ones that put like my music together. And I mean, there you have it, man.
No doubt. And one time I want to give a rest in peace to Big L. They took him away too early. I swear he was going to put Harlem where it needed to be. Like before the Diplomats and all that, Big L was about to really set it off. Word.
Nah, L was
Big L.
You know, I just did an interview the other day. I'm telling people, like, I mean, I just started saying this, but I mean, we already knew him and Fat Joe were probably the stars of the crew. They wanted it more in a different way as far as the music business and the industry. But L was gunning for, I could say the closest thing to be considered would be Jay-Z, like that spot, like that business acumen, that's where he was gunning, you know what I'm saying? And
no doubt.
Same thing with Joe. You know, Joe's he's a businessman. Like people, you know, I've seen over the years people talk shit about he's not as nice as everybody. I'm like, Joe's a hell of a businessman, and he got nice over the years. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
so
sir.
I don't know what y'all talking about. Like this dude was gonna be like exactly where he's at today.
You think you guys get? I always argue, right? I'm mad son. I'll fight with niggas all motherfucking day. I'll be like, yo, what? You know what? I think you guys get slighted for a lot of shit. DITC. There's no weak link. You understand what I'm saying? There's no, like, I'm looking at you guys, the roster, what you guys have. There's no weak link. You know, like I always, like I like to start trouble. This is me, right? You know, like I put you guys with like Wu-Tang. I said, what the fuck is the difference between you guys and Wu-Tang? I don't see no difference. I said,
yeah, it's a difference.
There's a difference.
I don't know. Maybe you could.
Let me tell you the difference.
Major difference.
The difference is
major difference.
The difference on the surface is Wu is 9 MCs. The difference with Digging is Showbiz, Lord Finesse, Diamond D, and Buck Wild and OG are all producers. So it's 5 producers.
Wow.
It's 5 producers in DITC. and it's a producer. Wow. It's really a production company first before rappers. You know what I'm saying? Uh-huh. So this is what people don't realize. And like I said, with Wu is special because it's unheard of to have 9 motherfuckers rapping and that shit comes off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
With us, what's special about us and unique about us, just like them, is we got 5 producers and 3 of them rap.
Round their ass off. That's right.
Right. Showbiz rap, Diamond D, and Lord Finesse.
Lord Finesse is crazy. Shout out to Lord Finesse, man.
You know what I'm saying? So
that's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, and the thing about it was crazy. I don't mean to get in the middle, but DITC was strong then, was strong yesterday, was strong today, and be strong tomorrow. Because I think that that bond, and when I say bond, I say producers, the MCs, and then y'all came up through the ranks together. So it's not like a thing that was kind of like convoluted. We gonna put this guy with that guy. Nah, it wasn't like that. Y'all knew each other. You know what I'm saying? So to me, that's that makes it really especially dope. And you niggas is nice. Ain't can't nobody take nothing away from you. And ain't nobody gonna say nothing different. That's the fucking difference. Ain't nobody gonna say nothing about that. You know what I mean?
Right. So when people and then you got
be versatile in your shit, because you do your thing. You've been got your solo works going on. You had the Red Hot organization joint. I constantly listen to the Americans Dying Slowly joint.
Right.
Always listen to that shit. You know what I mean? And the Crooklyn Dodgers. We're gonna get into that later. But yeah, man, it's always to have a really, really thorough body of work. We can't know, because these cats, they like to step to you and say, "Oh well, you didn't do this and you didn't do that," and like to nitpick.
All day.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
See, this is what I tell people though, because you damn if you do, damn if you don't. You guilty by association, right?
Right.
I'm like, yo, if y'all want to talk about producers and production, and y'all want to talk simple shit like Biggie, Jay-Z, and Nas, my crew ran through that trifecta. So what are y'all gonna say about that? I could take one producer from my group, and he touched every what y'all consider classic or greatest ever or whatever y'all call it, and that's Buck. Buck touched Biggie, Jay, and Nas from 1994 up until 2010. Going up on Nas's Street's Disciple, like, you know what I'm saying? And then you got Finesse. He touched Biggie. Like, yo, pun. Like, we did it. If they had the what do you call them shits on the Mount Rushmore? We touched all of that shit. I had been in it from day one. From day one. Production.
Why you think,
that's a fact.
You see, this is my argument. I just don't think you guys don't get the credit you deserve. See, but
I don't.
Just now,
but listen, listen.
Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
Grammys, platinum, multi-platinum plaques. I don't know if y'all ever seen pictures of our studio, all the hardware on the wall.
Okay.
Wow, who cares about what people say? We got the actual facts. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got the hardware on the wall. We got the numbers to prove it. We got the Grammys. Diamond got Grammys. Like,
yeah.
This it's
for
there.
What particular song? Do you know what particular artist?
I think what OC is saying is that he don't care what the people is talking about. He already got the plaques on the wall to prove that they already solidified and certified and etched in stone in hip hop. All that shit.
And furthermore, on top of that, I think to really, really get at these weirdos who always got to question some shit and try to nitpick some shit, because they'll come at you and say, "Oh, you don't got X, Y, and Z. You don't have Grammys. You don't have this on the wall. You don't got plaques. You ain't rock with this person." And I think what old putting out there is like, "Yeah, nigga, we rock with your favorite MCs."
Right, and we do have Grammys and plaques.
We got the receipt, like what you call the receipts. We got receipts, nigga, hanging on the wall. You know what I mean? We certified. Yeah, so again,
but
I think that's what I'm not, going to try to speak for the brother, but I think I'm listening, and I think that's what he's saying. Like, regardless of what y'all talking about, our evidence is shown, and after time passes,
get mad at Harlem. Get mad at Harlem. Get mad at Harlem.